The double personality revealed. Jung made a chilling discovery about female psychology that explains why so many men feel like they're living with two completely different people. Women possess what he called a dual consciousness, two distinct personalities that can switch places so seamlessly that even they don't always realize it's happening. This isn't multiple personality disorder. This is normal female psychology operating exactly as it was designed to function. The first personality is the one she shows you when she wants something from you. This version of her is warm, affectionate, understanding, and supportive. She listens to your problems with genuine concern. She laughs at your jokes. She makes you feel like the most important person in her world. This personality emerges when she needs your emotional support, your financial resources, your time, your protection, or your commitment to the relationship. The second personality appears when she feels secure in your attachment or when she's frustrated with you about something. This version is cold, critical, demanding, and often cruel. She remembers every mistake you've ever made. She questions your competence, your character, and your value as a partner. She treats you like an inconvenience rather than someone she loves. This personality emerges when she feels like she has enough power in the relationship to express her true feelings without risking your departure. Most men experience this switch as confusing and painful. One day, she's telling you how lucky she feels to have you in her life, and the next day, she's listing all the ways you disappoint her. One week, she's planning your future together with excitement, and the next week, she's wondering aloud if you're really compatible. The speed and completeness of these transformations can make you question your own sanity. Jung understood that this dual personality serves important psychological functions for women. The appealing personality helps them secure resources and commitment from men. The critical personality helps them maintain control and avoid taking responsibility for relationship problems. By switching between these two modes, women can have the benefits of both unconditional male devotion and unlimited freedom to express dissatisfaction. The switch often happens without warning or apparent cause. You might wake up next to the loving, appreciative woman you fell asleep beside, only to find that she's been replaced overnight by someone who seems to barely tolerate your presence. Nothing significant happened between bedtime and morning, but somehow everything changed. This unpredictability keeps you constantly off balance and eager to please. What triggers the personality switch isn't always obvious, but Jung identified several common patterns. The switch often occurs when she feels like you're taking her for granted, when she's stressed about something unrelated to you, when she's comparing your relationship to someone else's, or when she's testing your boundaries to see how much mistreatment you'll accept before pushing back. The loving personality often returns when she senses that you're pulling away, or when she needs something from you again. Suddenly, she remembers all your good qualities. She apologizes for being difficult. She explains that she was just going through a hard time and didn't mean to take it out on you. She makes you feel like the understanding, forgiving hero for accepting her back into your arms. This creates what psychologists call trauma bonding, an addictive cycle where the relief of her return to loving behavior becomes more intense because of the pain caused by her critical behavior. You start to crave the good times more desperately because you know how bad the bad times can be. The contrast makes her affection feel more valuable than it would in a consistently loving relationship. Jung observed that many women are genuinely unaware of how dramatically their personalities shift. They experience each personality as their authentic self, responding to circumstances. When they're being loving, they truly feel loving. When they're being critical, they truly feel justified in their criticism. They don't see the pattern because they're living inside it rather than observing it from the outside. This unconscious nature of the personality switch makes it particularly dangerous for men. You can't predict when it will happen, you can't control what triggers it, And you can't reason with someone who doesn't recognize that their behavior has changed dramatically. You're left trying to solve a puzzle where the rules keep changing without notice. The critical personality often emerges during times when you're most vulnerable or when you most need her support. When you're dealing with work stress, family problems, health issues, or financial challenges, she might choose these moments to become cold, demanding, or emotionally unavailable. It's as if she instinctively knows when you have the least energy to deal with relationship drama and uses that weakness against you. But here's the most devastating part of Jung's discovery. Both personalities are real. The loving woman who makes you feel cherished isn't faking her feelings, and the critical woman who makes you feel worthless isn't faking hers either. You're not dealing with deception in the traditional sense. You're dealing with a psychological system that allows women to hold completely contradictory feelings about the same person and express both with equal authenticity. This dual consciousness serves an evolutionary purpose that Jung recognized. Throughout history, women needed to be able to attract and keep men for resources and protection. But they also needed to be able to express dissatisfaction and push for better treatment when circumstances allowed. The ability to genuinely feel both love and contempt for the same person, often within hours of each other, gave women psychological flexibility that enhanced their survival odds. For modern men, this creates an impossible situation. You can't build a stable relationship with someone whose fundamental feelings about you change dramatically based on factors you can't predict or control. You find yourself walking on eggshells, trying to keep the loving personality present and avoid triggering the critical one. But this is like trying to control the weather. The forces involved are too complex and powerful for you to manage. The double personality becomes most visible during relationship conflicts. She'll switch mid-argument from the woman who loves you to the woman who seems to hate everything about you. She'll bring up issues from months or years ago as if they happened yesterday. She'll question not just your recent actions, but your entire character and your fundamental compatibility as partners. Then, hours or days later, she'll wonder why you seem distant and hurt. Jung's insight reveals why so many men feel crazy in their relationships with women. You're not imagining the personality changes. You're not being too sensitive about her mood swings, and you're not failing to understand her complexity. You're experiencing a normal but rarely discussed aspect of female psychology that operates according to rules very different from male psychology. The key to maintaining your sanity is recognizing that both personalities are part of who she is, and neither one represents the real her more than the other. Don't make major relationship decisions based on interactions with either personality alone. Don't assume that the loving personality's promises will be honored by the critical personality. And don't assume that the critical personality's complaints represent her permanent feelings about you.